Okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Dan, and I'm somebody that has anxiety. And I want to make this video today because I'm noticing people having a tough time in these times, and rightfully so. I'm having conversations with a lot of people that are just worried, and I know what it's like. The worst feeling. What you're about to watch are tips and advice from me as to help keep your anxiety and stress levels down. Please share what you feel helps. Bit of a backstory about me. I've dealt with anxiety for like the past 10 years. My relationship with it is when I'm anxious, I'm like up in the anxious world for like 2 weeks. It's not like an hourly thing or a daily thing. I know some people have like little bouts of anxiety, but for me it's like I'll have anxiety and I'll kind of stay up there for like 2 weeks until, I don't know, my brain feels like it's safe to come back down. Right now I'm not anxious at all. I'm relatively calm, and I want this feeling for you as well at home, and I think what I'm doing could help that. Let's get into it, guys. Throughout this video I will have my phone out. It's not because I'm on my phone. Last night I kind of sat on the couch and I'm like, Dan, why are you so calm right now when like everything is saying you should be anxious? So I just kind of like threw everything on here. It's gonna come at you fast, and I hope it makes sense. And first things first, and this is gonna come across super obvious to a lot of people, but what I've done is I've started monitoring how much social media I'm taking in. Twitter, probably the worst place to be getting info about coronavirus. Twitter is brutal for incorrect facts, highly opinionated articles, fear-mongering like you wouldn't believe, the epicenter of just misinformation. And it's like, it's so shareable because all you have to do is hit a retweet button. I went on there, I read a bunch of articles, and I'm like, a large portion of these aren't verified. There are a lot of media companies that are trying to capitalize on coronavirus and on your fears. I'm seeing these clickbait titles that are incredibly panic-inducing that I'm like, why are you sharing this? No, that is not me trying to be sheltered from the truth, because what I'm doing to get that, I'm staying on top of any press conferences that are coming from my prime minister or president or head of province or state. That stuff you can listen to, and that stuff I advise you to listen to. Personally, anything other than that a lot of the time is speculation. The whole reason the world is functioning like this is because there's a lot of unknowns with what's happening. So when you see an article that is telling you what's going to happen in 10 days, they don't know that. Don't see it helpful in my world. If we're trying to get through this day by day, what's the point of worrying? And this is coming from an anxious guy that I've heard this 1,000 times in my life. What is worry gonna do for you? Worry is only gonna cause more discomfort when you're sitting on the couch at night. It's not gonna make time speed up. In fact, it's gonna make time feel like it's a little bit slower. Next thing, friends, family, social media people that are sharing on their story these articles or these graphs or these charts. I want you to know from me personally, I don't view you as more educated or more ahead of the curve or more calm than anybody else. In fact, I'm viewing the opposite. I view you as the most scared, and that's okay. In times of panic and uncertainty, people deal with things in a different way. Kind of like how a bully, they say, is oftentimes bullied at home or has a tough home life. And so what they're doing is they're just kind of passing it down the chain. I'm plugging that in here. When somebody is sharing a scary article, it's because that article scared them, and it's a way of them being like, oh my God, look at what this just did to me. I need to get this out so it does it to someone else. As somebody with anxiety, it's not helpful. You're not missing out on anything. Right now is a time where we need to look at articles with our eyes wide open. Stop comparing your comfort and fear to other people. In like the everyday life when it wasn't like this right now, there's a lot of people that don't appear to be dealing with stress. Everyone deals with stress, but they don't appear to do it. Now that things are different, you're noticing that they're kind of scared or like they're kind of nervous, but it doesn't mean that that's the threshold. I'm usually this scared in normal life, and they're here. Now they're here, I should be here. It doesn't work like that. We all process things differently. Panic and fear is a choice. If you read an article saying it's time to panic, no, it's not. That's them just trying to get a shareable title. You do not have to do anything these articles say. And it's okay if occasionally you slip into one of those because it's a very uncertain time. And as we all know with anxiety thrives off of uncertainty. Plug in logic. When your imagination goes to these places, play devil's advocate with your own thoughts. The way you can do this is with information, not fear-mongering information, but fact. Once you plug in fact, anxiety can only go so far because it starts to hit the walls of what the fact and logic actually tells it that it is. The truth here is pandemics end. Economies will bounce back. What we're living right now is not the new age future that you're reading in these articles. This is temporary. Remember that and tell yourself that on a consistent basis. Yes, we're all in this right now, and we need to at some point accept that. It's not gonna be like that forever. We do know we'll be okay, and all we can do is make the best of it. I'm pumping out a lot of content. I'm getting a lot of DMs saying, I love bored quarantine Dan. The truth is, this isn't bored content. My life has not really been impacted all that much. I work from home already. I edit for hours on end at home. This social isolation thing, for a lot of creators, we already do this. So day by day, my life hasn't really changed all that much. The reason I'm creating more content right now is because I think the world needs it. The world needs to laugh, and it is okay to laugh right now. It offends people because in their world, it has to be all seriousness and all panic because look at the situation we're in. No, it doesn't. If we want to get through this pandemic, and we will get through this in a comfortable way, then let's laugh at certain things. Let's have fun with certain things. There's no doubt, and I'm not here preaching that this isn't a serious situation. Of course it's serious. We all already know that. The last thing we need is an uneducated person in this field to tell us that, or for them to take their fear and throw it on us as if we're doing the wrong thing. On that note, I decided to do this music video thing. If you're watching this right now, I have the instructions on my Instagram story. What I'm asking people to do is send me a vertical video of you lip syncing to Simple Plan's I'm Just a Kid. It could be a verse, it could be the whole song, whatever you're doing in quarantine, and send it to DanocracyVideo@gmail.com. I'm compiling all the footage to make a music video of how everyone's handling it. And that brings me to the next point. This is history we're living through right now. I'm sitting at home and I'm viewing this as a very interesting thing to live through. Don't get me wrong, I have my moments where I get caught up in fear. Enjoy the time now that you can sit at home and watch TV all day long. In fact, your government is telling you to do that. You no longer have to feel guilty about it. You can play video games all day. Right now, I am participating in social distancing and isolation. Please stay inside. Okay, don't be going out living your life as if it's a normal thing, because right now it's not normal. We all know that. We can accept that. We want to get back to normal as quick as possible. And what that means is just chillax at home, man. Reframe things, okay? Don't view everything as a tragedy. The fact that we have to stay inside. Stop viewing it as, oh my God, I can't leave my house. What are we gonna do? What if I run into this? Instead of viewing it as, I'm forced to stay inside. I feel trapped. View it as, my government is literally telling me to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Dive into a hobby that I've neglected for so long. Or to reconnect with people. The amount of FaceTime calls or texting I've done with people that I've fallen out of contact with over the years in the past 10 days, honestly speaking, if we weren't in a pandemic, I don't know if it would have happened. We all live our lives, we all get busy, we all get bad at things, and personally, I am bad at texting and responding. But because I have nowhere else to go, I'm kind of sitting there like, oh, let's see how they're doing, and I'm genuinely listening. Right now, we're being advised to physically distance. Social distancing means physically don't be close to other people. We're physically distancing right now. We can talk on FaceTime, we can text, we can still be very social with people in a digital world. Right now, we need people. And if physically we can't, I live alone. I've got Charlie. There's a lot of people out there that are in a relationship that they have somebody else. So they have somebody that they can kind of go through these experiences with. When you live alone and you don't really have anybody else, now's the time to reach out to your friends. Have phone calls, have FaceTime conversations with big groups. Make the best of it. You know, what's interesting about anxiety is oftentimes it tells me that I'm by myself, I'm alone, nobody will understand where my brain's at. But when you really look at the situation, more than any other time in most of our lives, is the world all on the exact same page as anxiety. If there's people out there that have anxiety, most likely we're all sort of freaking out about the same thing. When it was every day, it was kind of like my job, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. What if this guy said, what if this girl does it? You know, but right now, we're all hyper-focused on the same pandemic, and that's what we all have in common. So if you're going through an anxious state, reach out to somebody, because most likely they're going through the exact same thing as you. Your career, what are you gonna do with your job, money, food, all of that, I have the same thing. But there's like a weird comfort in knowing that the rest of the world is all freaking out about the same thing, that it's almost like it's not something to freak out about. So take now for what it is. Wow, this is really interesting. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. There are plenty of people that'll care after you as well. Find something that you may have been neglected, because right now, what we have is time. The phone calls, the relationships that you could fix right now. Do it now, because now's the time the world is fully listening. Once this is all over, and it will be over, the world is gonna be functioning faster. It's gonna be like, okay, we gotta make up for this, and it's gonna be moving quick. And then people are gonna go back into their daily lives. People have time, and I'm personally taking advantage of that. I wanna talk to as many people that I may have grown distance from. When this is over, we're all gonna be busy again. In a weird way, there's a lot of blessings in disguise. Positivity is not something you have to avoid, and it does not represent a lack of education or lack of seriousness in the situation. But listen, if I can do this as a person with anxiety, lives alone with just a dog, I've seen like 3 people in the past 5 days. If I can do this, you can do it too. You can follow me on Instagram at Danocracy. I'm trying my best to keep you entertained. This music video collaboration thing could be kind of fun. I'm trying to have fun here. It'd be cool to see people from all over the world sharing their quarantine dance moves or singing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourself. You will be okay. We will get through this together. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. See you guys later.